have your day brightened up? You're in the right place. Welcome to the Hashtag Positivity Podcast.
Hey guys, thanks so much for tuning into the podcast, and welcome to the Thanksgiving episode. I'm here with John and Don, and we're starting off with a bang. So hope you guys are all doing super well. Thanksgiving is upon us, one of my favorite times of the year. I don't know about you guys, but I love getting together with the family. Things for me this year are going to be a little bit different. We'll get into that later, but how you guys been?
Donnie, would you like to start?
I've been great, thank you. Doing great.
Oh, thank you.
Sounds like Donnie's doing really good.
Yeah. Sorry about that, folks. When we were getting our audio set up and video, Donnie created a new intro for us that was very, very funny. So I apologize. I'm back. I'm ready to rock. To answer your question, my friend, it's good to see you. Happy Thanksgiving
good
week.
to see you too.
I too love this time of year. You know, we get a little bit of a break from school. All the traditions around Thanksgiving. So it's an exciting time of year for the kids as they're approaching the Christmas season and the holiday season. So it's an awesome time of year for family, friends, and reconnecting with people that maybe you don't see as often as you'd like to or as often as life would allow. So, yes, awesome time of year for sure.
Yeah. So you guys have any good plans? Obviously, you got good plans for Thanksgiving, but what are you guys up to? You having people at the house? You going somewhere else?
Donnie?
We actually go to my parents' house for Thanksgiving.
Donnie goes to mommy and daddy's house for Thanksgiving.
It's great. It's 42 years running.
Oh, that's good. That's serious. That's
That is
a good
commitment.
stretch.
Yeah.
That's commitment.
Yep.
Don't fool around.
That's good.
No, you don't.
John, what about you?
I can't wait. Thanksgiving for me, this will be the first year in 20 years that I haven't coached a football game on Thanksgiving Day.
So they'll probably win.
Fired.
Well played, Donnie.
I'm so glad we got him a microphone.
Oh, he's the best. I certainly hope they win, but I will be going with my family in the morning to watch the Thanksgiving Day game as a spectator for the first time in 20 years. And then we go to family's house in the afternoon. I'll break bread together and enjoy each other's company. And all local, no travel, so should be a good day. How about you?
Well, so my parents just moved down to Florida this past year, so this will be the first year that we're not having it at my mom's house. But they're up. I visited with them today for a while. I'm going to see them over the next couple of days a whole bunch. But we're actually going to go out on Thanksgiving, get a meal somewhere that's cooked for us.
Oh, so nobody has to do any work.
Yeah, nobody's got to do anything. We're just going to go with the whole extended family, have a good time, have a good meal, and then probably do a little partying afterwards, something like that. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. What I'm not looking forward to though is I'm not gonna get the leftovers that I normally get.
Well,
so there's not gonna be those turkey
sandwiches.
sandwiches.
Unless you don't finish at the restaurant. But that's like the highlight of Thanksgiving too, right? Bringing everything home and eating it twice.
I'm sorely gonna miss those turkey sandwiches and the cranberry stuffing. Actually, I didn't put the stuffing out. So if you guys that are only listening can't see this, I made quite the spread for these guys today. We got a pretty.
It's very.
fancy
If you
dinner.
could see what we have in front of us, you know why Jason is not cooking for his family on Thanksgiving. It would be more than apparent.
Listen, these guys enjoyed everything that I put out there for them earlier.
True.
So
That's true. It was great.
That's true.
Yep.
This is true.
Where do your parents live in Florida now?
they live in Hudson, so they're just north of Clearwater Beach, pretty close to Tampa.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yep. So
Gulf side.
west, yep.
Were they affected much by the Irma or
No, luckily they weren't. So they evacuated. They went north to a friend's house, but luckily they weren't damaged by the storm. They made all the preparations, but there's only so much you can do for something like that anyways.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
Yeah, luckily they came home. There was very minimal, if no damage.
Good.
And
good.
Yeah, lucked out on that one. So
Awesome.
So that was a nice thing that they didn't get totally battered by that on their first year down.
Must be nice for you too. Not they've moved away. They've been gone for a year now. So we talk about every week here we share stories or quick snippets about positive things going on in the world, or people doing great stuff for other people. But for you, it must be super nice this time of year around Thanksgiving and the holidays to have your parents come back up here to spend some time with you guys.
Yeah, really great to see them. Like I said, I saw them today. They got back yesterday, and just really looking forward to spending some more time with them. It's good. I'm gonna try and space the visits out. I didn't want to go down there over the summer. It's super hot.
It is. Florida's tough in the
it'll
summer.
be a nice escape over the winter
Yes,
when
it
it's
will.
things are getting cold and snowy up here.
For
It's
sure.
like their perfect time of year down there. So
Have you been down there yet or no?
I haven't been to their new place yet. No, I've been to Florida in the past, but never to
But
their
never to where they're living.
No, never
Nice.
to their spot. Nope.
Cool. What do you got for us today, brother?
Well,
Let's get into it, man.
A couple episodes ago, we talked about Jacob Thompson,
Yeah,
the young man battling cancer,
Yeah.
and sad to say that he passed away earlier this week. So I think that his wishes were fulfilled, though. He wanted to have Christmas come early. He had wished for a whole bunch of cards from a bunch of different people, and it seems like people came through for that. There were thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of cards
It's unbelievable.
that were delivered to him.
For the people that might just be listening for the first time, Jay, or just tuning in, I think this is our 5th episode now that we've been rolling on this. For people that aren't completely familiar with what we're discussing now, maybe just give them a quick snippet of this young man and what his sort of goal was as he knew he was really sick and his time was limited, because I think it'll help put things in perspective.
Yeah, for sure. So Jacob Thompson was a young man. I believe he was 9 years old, and he had terminal cancer. So he knew he was not going to survive very much longer.
Yeah.
Was in the hospital. He's been battling this for, I believe, the past 4 years. So since he was 6 years old, 5 or 6 years old, he's been battling this disease. And with his time running short, his wish was for Christmas to come early this year so that he could celebrate Christmas. And the thing he wanted the most was just Christmas cards. So people came together, the troops rallied, and he received tens of thousands of cards from all over the country, all over the world. A lot of soldiers from overseas and different places were sending cards, and I read something earlier today that his family has actually read every single card that they've received so far, but they
Wow.
still have pallets and pallets of cards that are just waiting to be opened. So people really reacted to this story and came through for him.
Amazing.
We see stuff like this all the time. Different kids who have,
Sure.
kind of selfless wishes, or
Sure.
or something you might not suspect from an 8 or 9-year-old.
Absolutely.
And it's really, really cool to see things like this happen, and just breaks my heart for something like that to happen at the holiday season. But to know that he went out, kind of, getting his last wish fulfilled with his family all around. That's what it's all about. So.
Yeah, I would just add that. I don't know that Jake's parents are even familiar with what we do or who we are, and I'm sure they've received, in addition to the cards, well wishes and prayers and thoughts from people from all over the country and around the world, and they should. For a young man to, not be hung up on material things and to understand how precious this gift of life is, and for him to be so aware at 9 years old that he was dealing with something that would eventually take his life. And his motivation and his inspiration came from strangers, many of whom he'll never meet, many of whom he never met, but cards of support. And it's unbelievably moving to me, and for his parents and family and friends, anybody that might hear this, you can count our group, certainly Jason, Donnie, and I. You can certainly count us among the many thousands who will keep you in our thoughts and prayers. We wish your family a beautiful Thanksgiving as you reflect on your son and his impact that he had on this country, and it sounds like the world, through something that was unbelievably difficult. These are the types of things that, for me, bro, are super inspiring. And this is, I think, a great example of why we continue to do what we'll keep doing. Because you hear about things like this in a world filled with so much hate at times and ill will, and and negativity, and to see people support this family, and more importantly for me, to see a young kid who, hey man, I want some positive notes. I want some positive affirmations. I want some positive reinforcement to come my way as I battle this disease, to me is why we do it, why we're going to keep doing it.
Absolutely.
So, and it's an awesome time, I think, for us to discuss this young man and his family, because we are, right on the eve of Thanksgiving. So thanks for bringing that up and rehashing it. We wish his family nothing but the best as they navigate his loss, and I'm sure we'll live every day with a piece of Jason with them. So we wish you well, and our thoughts and prayers and love are with you.
Yep, absolutely. And I can only imagine that they're gonna have those reminders. This is not that they were ever gonna forget him. Never could forget a young man like that, but. Imagine having pallets upon pallets of cards, like all of these people have reached out to show that they care. And yeah, it's a tough time for it to happen, but you know what? That's life. And
yeah,
we've talked about before how, the stories on the podcast, it doesn't always have to necessarily be an overwhelmingly positive story, because there's positivity in everything.
And that's what we the people I talk to off of the podcast that ask me, so what's this, thing that you're doing? It's just this sense that you can find the silver lining in every situation, and tragedy, and whether it's death, challenge, sickness, can introduce us to ourselves in ways that we never imagined possible. So you're absolutely right. I think, a great sort of segue into our brief discussion tonight around Thanksgiving. And I know you wanted to talk a little bit about that, about some of your traditions, and kind of what all of us hold dear, and what this time of year really is supposed to mean. So
yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, we talked a little bit earlier. I mean, you're going to go and watch a football game. You've coached them up until this point.
Yeah.
How many years? 20-something years?
This would have been my 20th season coaching.
So
yeah,
I watch every year. I watch the parade, watch the the football games that are on TV. Spend time at a couple
Giants, Redskins, right? Or Giants, Dolphins. What's the big? I know Cowboys. I know there's big ones every Thanksgiving.
Yeah, there's some
pretty
big
much
ones
the same ones.
Yeah, it's every year. It seems like the same thing, but you got the Macy's parade that comes on in the morning.
Yeah,
and it's kind of the same. So my parents are divorced, and on my dad's side, the family gets together. So I'll go over there on Christmas Eve and then on Thanksgiving, and do a big thing at my dad's side of the family with my cousins and aunts and uncles, and then come back to my mom's house, and we'll do a Thanksgiving dinner, and then Christmas Day. But really looking forward to that stuff. It's great to I don't get to spend enough time with my cousins, with my grandparents,
sure,
things like that. Life gets busy, and there's we've talked before about being busy and being productive.
Yeah.
But I need to find a way to make more time for all of those people, and conflicting schedules and things like that always get in the way. But
yeah, and sometimes there isn't time, right? And that's the whole purpose of Thanksgiving.
Yep.
Is or any holiday season where you're able to get the entire family together. Sometimes it's about maximizing the time that you do have with the people that you love the most.
For sure.
We can't create any more hours in the day. It is what it is, but to be mindful of the fact that, what, man, I don't see these people as often as I'd like to. It's not their fault. It's not my fault. It's just life. It's real.
Yep.
So am I going to maximize the minutes that I'm with these people, or am I going to be in a rush to get home because I've eaten a lot of food, I've got a 24-hour shift tomorrow, I just want to be on my couch watching football and having a beer and just relaxing? It's understanding that these moments are precious, they're fleeting, and we don't get a lot of them.
Right on. And, it makes me I'm so excited for this week, because I know that I'm going to get to see all these people. It just makes it that much sweeter when you get to,
absolutely,
you get to hang out with those folks.
And we take so much for granted, right? We take for granted that our parents are always going to be around, our siblings, our relationships, whatever. But to hear you say, I'm just so excited because you're going to connect with people that aren't always around, but that are a huge part of your life, that mean a lot to you.
Exactly.
And so just for people that are listening too, appreciate those moments. Don't be in such a rush to do the next thing or the next thing for you. Just take this time to reflect a little bit about what you're really giving thanks for. What am I really thankful for? Because if it's material stuff, that stuff comes and goes. But when people think about Thanksgiving, they don't think about presents. They think about food. They think about fellowship. They think about love. They think about family. All the stuff that we're supposed to be thankful for every day of the week. So if we're just giving thanks on Thanksgiving, we're missing 364 days a year to be thankful and to let the people in our lives know that we love them and we're thankful for them. That's Thanksgiving to me is a reminder of that, hey man, this is a great check-in every year to remind myself that, wow, I've got some pretty special people in my life, and I shouldn't just be thankful for them in the blessings that we have on Thanksgiving Day. We should be thankful for them every day of the week and let them know that, right?
Yep, absolutely. So Don, what do you got on tap for Thanksgiving?
Thanksgiving is probably my favorite holiday, although I do like the 4th of July. And it really just, as you guys have said, comes down to spending time with family. And, we have a couple of traditions in my family that even start on Wednesday night with my dad and my son. And, just looking forward to spending time with everybody, both on my side and my wife's side. Just a fun day. And like John said, I think sometimes you take things for granted, and this is a good reminder on how important these things are in your life.
Do you have any, a lot of times for families, like you mentioned traditions with you and your son and your dad, and your son's older now, he's a young man in college. Are they traditions that you are comfortable sharing, or is it more stuff that is really sort of family based and you want to keep it that way?
No, when I was a kid, the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, my dad and grandfather and I, would go out on Wednesday night, and we would, hit the stores to get the last minute things. My grandfather passed away in 2006. I think, my dad and I took a couple years off, and we ended up pulling my son Owen into it. So now it's my dad and I and my son that go out and do
awesome.
it. So it's carried on. It's a fun thing. I look forward to it. The three of us look forward to it.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And it's just fun.
And when you think about, like, your son's, approaching 20, and when you think about the amount of time you actually get to spend with you and Owen and your dad, just the three of you.
Yeah,
it doesn't happen all that often. And so, when you talk about like traditions, the holiday traditions, that's one that when I hear about it, it's just awesome, because it's not what you're doing. It's not running around and doing the errands. It's just the fact that very, very rarely do your dad, then you, and now your son get a chance to just laugh and spend time together.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's an awesome gift, man.
Yeah.
And what he's learned is that when he has his own family, someday, that he'll want to continue to pass that on as well.
Yeah, for sure.
And you'll be the old bastard that they have to help into the car to go around at night to do all the errands, but you'll appreciate it because it continues to be passed on.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah, it's a pretty awesome time of year. I definitely think Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday. Spent a lot of Thanksgivings working, actually, over the past 10 years or so, just at work, but we still manage to have a good time, have friends and family drop off pies or desserts or side dishes to us. A lot of the police officers that are working that day, we've done some stuff with them over the years. We deep fried a couple turkeys one year out back. We totally broke the rules, a couple of years ago, and deep fried a turkey in the garage bay.
Of the firehouse?
Yeah, of the firehouse. So, we get some some interesting stories, but I'll tell you, it's all about family, work family, home family, just a great time. And I love the we don't always have snow on Thanksgiving or Christmas, but that feeling of not only do you not want to go anywhere else, but you almost can't go anywhere else. Thanksgiving, it's because you're too full, and I'll be wearing my sweatpants,
Right, but
which I know you guys.
don't wear those if you go out to eat.
No, they don't expand as much as the other ones.
Well, not just that. I mean, they look awful. So don't wear those if you go out. But here, to your point, though, bro, and the reason that no one feels like they have to do anything or go anywhere is because there's nowhere to go.
Yep. There's nowhere better to be. You're perfectly content. And you're with the people you want to be with.
Exactly.
Yep.
That's exactly right. So there's nothing better than that.
Yeah, it's a great feeling. It's like, kind of like a snow day when you get snowed in, and not only do you have nothing you have to do, but there's not anything you can do. The roads aren't plowed.
Right.
It's a great feeling.
I hope it doesn't snow because I haven't touched my leaves yet. So
I hope it never snows again.
Well, no, I mean, my kids are getting to an age now where they can go out and shovel, so I don't really care if it snows as much anymore.
Well,
you trust them with a shovel.
Well,
but
you
not
live
the
pretty
rake.
close.
Exactly. No, well, it's just a lot of yard. You know what I mean? Why are you offering to come over and do the leaves?
That's what I picked
No.
up on.
No,
You did, right?
I was actually looking to get the kids to come over and shovel.
Listen, they will come and help, but the first thing they're going to ask you is how much money you're going to pay.
That's
them.
fine. I'll pay them. Actually, last year I had a couple kids from the neighborhood stop by and knocked on the door, very polite. A couple kids that live down the street, and Mister, would you like us to shovel? It'll only be $10. I'm like, I'll give you $20. And I came and I got my wallet, and I had no money on me. I had to tell them that I had no cash. I was like, you guys should get a Square card reader or something that could take cards because
they were cursing him so bad.
Oh, they were so mad.
They were throwing snow from the street into his driveway.
Yep.
Have fun with that, you cheap.
But they, neighborhood kids are always around. They're like, well, can we see your car? The car was in the garage at that time because of the snow, and brought them in, showed them that, and they got a kick out of it. But I'm gonna have to make sure I have cash on me this year.
I hope. Certainly, Donnie, you and I have been friends for over 30 years, and Jay, you and I are developing a great friendship. I know we reach out to a lot of the people that listen to us all the time and let them know that we're thinking about them. But for you guys, I hope you and your families have an amazing Thanksgiving. Enjoy each other. You have been. I'm certainly thankful for you two and my beautiful family, my wife and kids, and my brother and his wife and my nephews and parents. But I want to extend the same thing to you guys. One of the things I thought might be cool to do is last week we had a great episode with Nick Ahmed from the Diamondbacks and Pete Fatsy from AP Academy.
Yeah, great time.
And we did word association with them.
I love that.
So I thought maybe it'd be cool if we did it tonight and we each did it to one another, but just our first responses to 3 to 5 words or phrases, our first initial responses. So what do you guys think? You up for it?
I'm in. Don?
Sure.
Nice.
All right.
We're in trouble now because Don is, for those of you that don't know, you will get to know very quickly as Don starts to find his voice a little bit and speak up more. He is very, very witty. He's quick on the draw. So,
which is unusual because he's a police officer, and they're not usually.
If you,
he holds the power in his hands over there too. I saw him switching something. He's up to no good.
He did.
John, what were you saying?
Oh, nice. Oh, yes. He finally said it to somebody else. All right, so let's do it. Who wants to start?
I'll start.
Who are you going to ask?
So are we asking both of you?
Nope. You pick one. Donnie picks one. I pick one, but we all got to answer, so it'll be by default on the last. You know what I mean?
All right.
So you'll ask Donnie. Donnie will ask me. I'll ask you. That type of deal.
All right, sure. So John, I'll ask you.
Oh, man, I thought I was going to get a break here.
No breaks.
All
right. So let's see. First word. I like this, by the way. I'm glad that we're doing this. I think we should do this in every episode because I really liked that with those guys last week.
It was, and they loved it too. I was talking to them afterwards. They loved it, but I also think for other people, like, it's sometimes good just to take a step back and just be organic, be authentic. That's what we're trying to do on the podcast. Speak from the heart, whatever comes to mind. It doesn't have to be fabricated. Just speak from your heart, and more often than not, it's going to lead you in the right direction.
For sure. All right, so first word, presence.
Be where your feet are. Be where your feet are. Embrace and enjoy every moment.
Yep, love it. It's we get carried away and we think about a lot of times, oh, I have to go here next, I have to go there next, but it's good to enjoy the people around us. Really, just be in the moment. Phones are off or on vibrate and not paying attention to that kind of stuff. Just being where you are with who you're with.
That's it. Donnie, you think we're going to get a description of each word from Jason, or are we going to do this?
No,
thing?
That was just the first one.
Are we going to do this in the way it was intended to be done? I just want people to digest it organically. But
so you're saying that you want a Merriam-Webster definition of every word?
Well, that's what we just got after the first one.
Yeah,
I'm
not kidding.
hoping that it doesn't continue. Next,
Don, what were you saying?
Don, what were you saying?
We're gonna have to get a bigger table and put Don at the table.
Oh,
with us
I agree.
Yeah.
I totally agree. He needs to be part of this.
We have to.
I'm happy over here in the comfy leather chair.
Yeah, no,
true.
he thinks he's
got
the
most
big shot over
comfortable
there.
chair.
Next.
Yep. All right. Thankful.
Can find it in every encounter that we have and should not be restricted to one day a year.
And
well, this was a good idea.
long awkward pause. Next. So, Don, what do you got for words? Who are you going to ask?
Well,
I'm foregoing my third word. I
All right,
got
that's fair.
two. That's
fair.
so I have to ask you.
Correct. And then I get to ask you. This
Oh,
could not have worked out any better.
Maybe we should rewind.
Oh,
this tape
forget Thanksgiving. It feels like Christmas. Oh, this is awesome. Go ahead, Donnie.
Okay, you ready?
No, I'm not. I don't have to be. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Success.
Success is as long as you can learn and grow from any experience you have, I think that's successful. You don't always have to hit a home run with every at-bat, but as long as you're taking some lesson away from whatever happened to you, every experience, every situation, I'd say that's successful.
Good one.
That was good.
Thanks.
Happiness.
I'd say happiness for me is I'm living it. I'm happy every day. There are times where I'm down, but the friends, the family that I have surrounding me, the projects that I've been working on, really fulfilling for me. It brings me a great deal of happiness, and glad to have you guys on board. Really, really happy about everything that we've been doing. So I'd say that that's my happiness.
Awesome.
Failure.
Fail all the time, more often than I care to admit, more often than anybody probably sees, but I fail at basically everything I do to some extent. You try something out, a little piece of it doesn't work, but you move forward, and again, you get an experience that you can learn from and just grow even more.
Good.
My turn.
All right.
Were you on your phone getting words?
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, when we after we talked about presents.
Don't you worry about it, Donnie. Word number 1. Onomatopoeia.
What a dick.
This is like a family show, isn't it? This is a family show.
Wait, no.
I'm gonna pass.
No, I'll switch.
Oh,
I only did it
thank
because
God.
more than anything else, I just wanted to see your reaction. First word. You ready?
Yeah, go.
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving is the opportunity to spend time with people you love.
Perfect. Absolutely. Word 2. Hustle.
Hustle is, to me, going after your passion without restricting yourself, whether it be time, effort, or even being good at it.
Finding a way. Working through failure.
Yep.
Not being afraid to fail.
Yep.
And my last one. No,
No
Don-
four
Donnie just
letter
gave a-
words here.
No,
John.
no. I promise. I promise I won't. Family.
The absolute center of the universe.
Perfect. Awesome. Anybody else have any closing remarks, comments? I know from my perspective, and then I'll pass it over to you guys. I wish all of our listeners, our viewers, the best Thanksgiving for you and your loved ones. Remember, it's one day a year. Let us do our best to be thankful every day. We are certainly thankful for you, for your support. Be good to those you love. Let them know you love them. And we will see you next week on the official #Positivity Podcast.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Whether you're out there searching for those Black Friday deals with your family and friends, just be present, be in the moment, enjoy it, and life is good. Glad to have you guys around. What do you say we kick this record button off and we'll have a drink and enjoy some of this feast that I prepared for us?
I can't wait.
The hummus looks amazing.
All right, guys. We'll talk to you next time. Peace.
See ya.
Thanks so much for listening to the #Positivity Podcast. Online at #positivity.org. On Facebook at #Positivity. And Instagram, the official #Positivity. If you liked the episode, please rate and review. And remember, positivity is contagious. Sprinkle that madness everywhere. We'll